Hey Inspired Tribe, how's it going? It's Jean Nolan here. It's Kristin Nolan here. And today we'd like to share a law of attraction success story with you. One of, the many beautiful things that we have experienced, especially since we are aware of how the mechanisms of the universe work. And this one is about living your gift and how being in the vibration of your gift makes everything around it happen. It's amazing how these mechanisms work. I used to be a professional athlete, an alpine skier, and when I came out of it, Kristin and I had a lot of amazing projects, but one thing that was always in my heart and that I knew that would be a big part of my life was music. I was growing up with music. I used to dance, I used to sing, I started writing songs at 14, and I always brought my guitar everywhere. And there's one thing that Kristin said when we first met and I was still skiing, and that was the first time I played a song for her. And after I was done, she looked at me and said, well, if it doesn't work out with skiing, music is always an option for you. So I don't know what it did, but this sentence really, it went very deep. I knew it would always be a part of my life, but knowing it and then hearing someone else saying it makes all the difference. But when I eventually decided that, not just that I wanted and really desired to make music, I needed to do it. I needed to do it in a way that I needed to breathe, in a way that I needed to eat. It felt like it was an essential need. And I started writing songs, and I would write songs, I don't know how many hours a day. And, before I knew it, I had a big catalog of songs that I'd written, and I felt like I was ready to take the next step. So around this time, I was working with an old friend, and we, recorded a little song for a competition, and we went out for coffee, and I told him about my intention to record an album and get a record deal and go out on tour and, do music professionally. And he looked at me and he said, imagine what it feels like to hold your album in your hands. See the cover, see it exactly in your mind, and feel what it feels like to look at the back and see your song titles and all of that. Really imagine it vividly. And he told me later he had just watched The Secret and just read the book, and he was, super in the vibration of it, and I did exactly that. I just put out this vibration that I was ready. I knew I was ready. And, when I talked about it, there are people that you can talk to about your dreams, and then there are people that you can't talk to about your dreams, and you really need to know who's who. Because I did the mistake of talking to it to almost everyone, and then a lot of people would tell me, and probably meant really well, and they said, well, this is not happening anymore, the music industry doesn't work like that anymore, no one gets a record deal, and those days are over, everything has changed, it's really hard. They had a lot of good advice, and stubborn as I am in some ways, and I feel that that's a good thing, I didn't really listen. I kept putting out the vibration, and Kristin kept supporting me in that vibration, and we were both 100% sure that it's happening. And so not long after, I walked down to our mailbox and pull out a bunch of, bills and stuff, and also as a free magazine that you get every month. And on the cover, there was a record producer that had just started his own label, very successful guy that wanted to build a successful record label, and he'd been in the business for 20 years. I immediately felt this, sense of synchronicity. I felt how the path started to unfold in a very powerful way. So I looked him up, sent him an email, and said, hey, listen, I'm Jean Nolan, and, I've been writing songs for a long time. Music has always been a part of my life, and I really want to take it to the next level. I'd love to come by and play you a few songs. I think maybe 1 or 2 days later, I received a reply, and he invited me to come to his studio and bring my guitar. And so, I walked in 2 days later, and the thing that I did, I remember, I dressed like the star that I desired to be. I was not just going to a meeting, but in my mind, I was creating a huge worldwide career that that day. It didn't feel to me like I was just walking into another meeting. It felt to me like I am who I desire to be in this moment. And some people call it fake it till you make it. But I knew that if I wasn't 100% of my vision, no one else would be able to see my vision. And so I walked in and we talked for a little while. And as it always is, he had heard of me before. He'd seen some of my stuff and seen a little clip of a song that I played at a show before. And so he said, well, take out your guitar and play me a few songs. And I took out my guitar and started singing, and he stopped me about 30 seconds in and he said, wait. He said, go into the booth and I'll hook you up and I'll hook up the mic and let's record this right now. I'd been to studios, but nothing like this guy. This was the real deal. And so I walked into the booth and I felt like this is my moment. I felt like this is it. Imagine that you are right now recording an album that hundreds and hundreds of millions of people are going to hear. And so I started to sing and I started to play and I put my heart and soul into every word. And what started as a small demo session, he wanted one song, turned into 10 or 12 songs that we recorded that day just as demos, just as a demonstration of what could be. And when I walked out of that booth, there was a magic in the air. We all felt like this was, it felt like we were making history in the moment. And I sat down and I felt this satisfied kind of tired, when you have just done something great and all of a sudden this tension goes away from you and it's just satisfying and wonderful. And so we sat down and his assistant was there too. And he looked at me and he said, listen, man, I want to sign you. I want to produce a record on you. I want to work with you. And I remember all the visions that I'd had and all the affirmations and all the dreams and everything. It was just spinning around in my head. And I was almost speechless. Like I started stuttering like, what do you mean? But like, do you want me to pay for this? He said, no. I want to sign you to my label. I want to produce a record with you. I love your songs. I love what I've been hearing, and you told me you have 30, 40, 50 more songs. I want to produce a whole album with you. I want to launch your career with you, get you out, playing shows, tours, everything. I don't think that I can describe in words the way I felt. I know that my phone was burning in my pocket because I couldn't wait to call Kristin. I couldn't wait to tell her. I couldn't wait to hear her scream on the other side of the phone, which she did, which I did. We were beyond ecstatic about this wonderful, beautiful manifestation. And one thing turned into the other thing. We started recording that album. We brought in great musicians. I started playing more and more shows, and next thing I know, not even a year later, I was playing in front of 35,000 people. It was a huge stadium show. It was one of the biggest sports events in the history of Austria, where I lived at that time. And I was asked to play the halftime show, and I can tell you that it is beyond words to experience the unfolding of your vision and of your dream, and to feel the synchronistic moments, to feel how everything is falling into place when you are living your gift. When you're living your gift, everything is falling into place. It just has to. This record, this show, the tour turned into so much more, into amazing opportunities, and eventually led us right here to Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm working in music now, and where another new vision, new dream is unfolding and taking form every single day. This only happens in this way when you're living your gift, when you're living what you do the best with the least amount of effort. This story is never ending. It's always unfolding. And the best is yet to come. I know it. We feel it. The best is yet to come. But when you don't give yourself the opportunity, when you don't live what your dream is, it's never going to happen. That's the one thing that's for certain. If you're not living your dreams, if you're not living your gift, then it's never going to happen. But if you do, then the whole universe conspires to bring about your desires, your dreams into physical reality. This is how it works. This is how it works. I've seen it time and time and time again. Experiencing something like these synchronistic moments that I've had, walking into the studio, meeting this guy, recording an album, being part of a whole new world, experiencing something I'd never experienced before is beyond amazing, beyond words that I can even find. Inspired Tribe, I truly hope this inspired you. Let us know down in the comments what your dreams are, what your moments, your synchronistic moments, your manifestations, your success stories. Please let us know. Please subscribe, hit the like button, all the good buttons. But most of all, have an inspired rest of your day.